Here with our resident numismatist, Mr. Mike Mezek. And Mike, it's been a while since we've done a show together. I'm excited. We've got a lot of brand new things that we've never seen before. We're going to get going right now with our first items. So we've got this hour and next hour with a lot of exciting items.
You and I were talking about this before the show. The last time we sold this was 2013.
A long time ago.
2013. I have 200 notes. What this is an old silver certificate. So people are familiar with silver certificates. You probably have one laying around there. It usually has a seal here that's blue. You notice this one's brown. You notice this says Hawaii out here on the side. As a matter of fact, I have another note here. The reverse of the note also has Hawaii printed on it. And people are like, okay, what's the deal here? Is this like some souvenir?
Right.
From Hawaii? And it kind of is. When the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941, the United States government was concerned about the Japanese overrunning Hawaii, which was U.S. territory at the time. And in essence, seizing all the currency because it used U.S. currency. And being able to use that currency to buy weapons that could be used against the United States because U.S. currency was kind of the currency of the world. So they solved that problem by July of the next year by only printing and distributing in Hawaii notes that had a brown seal that said Hawaii on them. So that if the Japanese actually overran the island of Hawaii, they would basically end these in terms of legal tender. They would no longer be legal tender, and they would be 100% worthless.
So they just make an announcement.
They just make it, to the world, saying, we will not honor these. Because you have to understand, in a silver certificate, for every dollar, there was actually a silver dollar in the Treasury of the United States for each and every one of these. And they said, we will not honor these if these get overrun. So these were only used in the 1940s during World War II and only used in Hawaii. These are the original notes that have lived through that thing that people put away that says Hawaii on here. So this note was basically used in Hawaii from 1942 to 1945.
And it looks beautiful because you think about all the years, you know, where currency doesn't, you know, can't stand the test of time. These look gorgeous. Yeah,
it's absolutely unbelievable. So we haven't done this in five years, okay? 2013. I have 200 notes. Is all that I have. They are 100% authentic. They come with a certificate of authenticity. They come with you and tell you all about the Hawaii note, that these were made specifically only in basically 1942. They were made in Hawaii is all that they were done, and they were only available and used in Hawaii for those 3 years. Then after the war, they were all taken back by the United States government and replaced with regular silver certificates with the blue seal. So this is literally part and parcel of the entire United States war effort for World War II. And so these notes now are, like, as you said, they're in amazing condition. They are 70 years old. They are 70 years old is what we're looking at. We had these, and we have a price break on these. We originally sold them 5 years ago at $149. We've occasionally had them on hsn.com. I finally have got enough of these. I had 200 notes. And understand, folks, I have about that many people on the phone. They're almost impossible to get in this condition, okay? In this condition, for this price. They are 100% authentic. They're not reprinted, restruck, or redone in any way, shape, or form. And like I said, only used in Hawaii. So the United States government, to keep U.S. currency from falling into enemy hands.
Amazing.
They made this special and used this special plan so that they did this brown seal so that if they weren't, you know, if Hawaii did get overrun, that these notes would no longer be legal tender and would be this incredible way to keep our currency from falling in the hands of the wrong people. But our economy in Hawaii just kept going on. That was just going to continue to do it. So it didn't affect the economy. It was a brilliant plan. It was a fantastic,
great piece of history. Great story for you to have.
Great
also on FlexPay, I want to mention $46.46 to get home. When we can do FlexPay in our coin toes, we do them. They're very rare. The item number is 463158, and we don't have a lot of these.